This week on SV Lynx. Welcome to this week's SV Lynx video. Last week we got a lot of tasks accomplished, but our main goal of getting the rooftop laminated was completed on Saturday with our big crew of helpers.
Which we really appreciate them all coming by and helping. Only two big jobs that take a huge crew left. But hundreds of jobs still on little ones for Brian and I. But speaking of that, this week we're hoping to get a full 5 days of work done and a ton of stuff completed toward our big goal this week, which is to start cutting out the windows at the front of the salon. And so we're ready to get to work, so let's get started. Good morning, everyone. It's a new week, and we're going to get started by cleaning up the few of these windows that we haven't done that yet. These three over there are done, but this one, as you can see, has a lot of little stuff we have to clean off of here, and then the whole other side. So we're going to get started with that right now. And this one we forgot we have to pull these stuff. So, not too hard. Brian's going to grab me some pliers for the ones that are stubborn. We're working on the baseboards for the windows that go along the side of the boat, both the starboard and port. And then these are the baseboards. But we need to fill these top edges with thickened epoxy. So we've already routed them out with our small router here. And now it's just a matter of filling them, sanding them down, and then we can go ahead and glue these boards onto the side of the window panels. And this will put up our acrylic windows will sit up on top of this edge. And we've left about a centimeter, 10 millimeters or 3/8, somewhere like there, for a layer of glue, because acrylic in the sun can expand quite a bit, and so we have to leave a gap around the whole outside of it and between the acrylic where we put it together. And so these boards allow for that gap on the bottom. The board that we mount on the top will be the same thing. And then the windows split apart just about 10 millimeters right down the center, again 3/8 or so. We'll leave room for expansion of all of those things. So that's all set. And the width of these boards is 16 millimeters. And our acrylic is 8 millimeters thick on the side windows. And so that leaves 8 millimeters, and we really want 10. for the glue space. So, but that's okay, because once we tab the side, that's going to add 1.5 millimeters with 2 layers of 450 glass. And at that point, you're at 9.5 millimeters for the glue. Close enough. That'll work. So all these numbers are figured out, and so we're pretty happy with it. And now we're going to go ahead and fill these and glue these on once this is set up. So we'll glue them on tomorrow. We'll just fill them today. All right, so Brian's filling our troughs now, and we mixed a guess of 400, and if I'm a guessing man, that's not going to be enough based on simply on what he's already used for the first two. I think 400 might only do one set. Sometimes our guesstimates are good and sometimes they're not. In this case, it doesn't matter. We can just mix more. We didn't mix too much. If anything, we mixed way too little. About the most we can mix in our cups is about 500, and if this 400 only gets this far, we wouldn't have made it the whole thing anyway, so we would have had 2 batches no matter what. So the only question is, we're mixing 5 for the next one.
Want to see how far this spreads once you flatten it out?
I do. Ta-da! So Brian and I have been figuring out what goes here, and this part of the galley, but what pieces from the galley go here. And because we've modified the hallway and some of this, there's some changes that we had to make here. So we figured that out a bit. But we've decided now is we're going to start at the top, because we already have a height here, and we put in a board over there with a laser level to get the height correct and level over there. And then we put a couple blocks in out there so we can glue the top down, and it'll at least be glued enough to hold. And then from there we can glue the face on, because there's a toe kick underneath of it and all that kind of stuff. So here we go. And the weather has been doing some weird stuff. We kind of had some record heat 2 days ago at 90 degrees. For this time of year, it's pretty warm. Today, it's cooled way off. You notice I'm wearing a sweater, and this is the afternoon. So we had a little drizzle last night and cool temperatures today. I'll take it. Not so cold that we can't work, so I'm good there. Ready? I can't grab there. Problem we're having again, as we always have with this, is that back window is at a slope, and so we have to match the slope, otherwise the ceiling underneath doesn't match nice and smooth. And so yeah, it makes this countertop a slight arc to it, but that's okay. The back will be arced. By the time we put the front in, this will get flat across here, and it'll just arc off the corners a little bit. That's what we get with having a curved window up there. So to get that arc, we have this post down here pushing up on the middle part here, and then some rocks out at the two ends to get the bow, and then Brian went in and felt along the bottom everywhere to make sure it was perfectly smooth across this to the ceiling right there. So you can see the cupboards really only go back this deep from the kitchen. Then after that, it's the hallway ceiling after that. So the cupboards will be from here to here. There's a piece that fits right here. Sitting right over there, Galley 5, ready to go. So that's going to go in here, and then there's one right behind it in the hallway area. We'll be putting that on soon. And that'll make this a box shape here. Now we still, at the same time, have to put the toe kick in that goes down along here. But because we're putting the washing machine in, the toe kick from the factory cut went all the way to the end here. But we're going to be changing it since we put in the washing machine right here. So we're going to end the toe kick area right here. And then the cupboard will just come down and sit right along this edge. Now right where you see this division right here, this is a wall that inserts right here. So that dipped corner there is going to be hidden away anyway behind this wall that's right here. Because up here is where our winches come through. So that'll be a cupboard up here. And then lower down here, there's going to be a microwave and some storage over in the corner there. The sink sits about here. And so that goes there, and it only goes back maybe this far. So we have all this flat area back behind here that will again put a little storage back in here, low storage just beneath the window level here. We're doing all this right now so that we can start putting these mullions in that go here. And these are going to come down like this, cut off so they're level and go straight against there. So we needed this surface here so we can cut the right angle on the bottom of this, get it down there, and then we'll glass that all onto the back wall, all the way around that post, and so forth. And it'll also go all the way up to the ceiling here and then glassed onto the cabin top here. So, lots of glass on that mullion to make it very, very strong in case we get any side impact from a wave. We put a little sliver in here because there's just a slight gap there, so we filled that now with a piece of foam, glued that in. That's all set, no problem. Now we don't want to cut out the sink yet, and the reason we don't want to cut out the sink yet is because I'd rather have this strong and be able to sit and climb on here as I'm working things up here like the mullions and fairing and all that good stuff and painting many things before we cut out the sinkhole and put the sink in here, because once we cut that out, it's just a pain because there's a hole here, and I certainly don't want to put the sink in here yet while we're doing work. So we'll just leave this solid for now and cut the sinkhole out much later when we want to put the sink in. But for today, this is as far as we want to go in this area. So it looks good, and we'll just walk away for now. And while we're letting that galley portion set up, we're going to get back some more work on our daybed here. We need to core the top of this since this is going to be outside and we can't have foam exposed, so we're going to core this and fix this end a little bit. So. Wow. What's the problem here? This is moved or something because I can see that it's wrong. Now we have to fix that edge. All right, try it again. All right, I fixed this end piece to get it level with the whole thing. We built these little dam walls on either side here so we can fill this trough, let this set up with thickened epoxy, and that will get the height correctly all the way around then. And then for where my tool was misaligned and we ate away a little bit of the wall, we built a little dam along there as well so that we can recreate that edge. I'll start down here. Done. I say that and then I fix one more thing. All right, now I'm done. Thursday morning and we're back. This is all set up now so we can take it apart. See how our little dams did. They should just peel off of here as this peel ply. Like that. And there's one on the inside here. Okay, so that worked. Now we'll just put a little beveled edge here after we clean that up. And then in here, where we had a little snafu with our tool, same thing. All fixed up now. All good to go. Next up on this will be to, besides cleaning this up and stuff, will be to put a cove around the inside here and glass it in with some tabbing. But we may or may not get to that today. It's not as misty as it was yesterday. It's still gray, but yesterday it was misting, so we had to do all interior work. Today it's drier outside, so what we're going to do is glue on the baseboards, but go below the windows that hold the acrylic window up from the deck. And so we want to get those on, and we've got them prepped and everything, but had to wait for a day where we could epoxy outside. So it looks like that is what we're going to do maybe right now. We mixed way too much epoxy. But we already prepped this and cleaned it and cut most of the fiberglass for it. So we're just going to do this at the same time since it's nice and cool out anyway. All right, so now we're going to put 3 layers of glass on here. We're going to go a big layer that goes wide across all of this, a slightly smaller layer, and then a third piece that isn't really for strength so much as it is, I just want to thicken this up slightly more to get the right thickness for our acrylic to sit nicely. working along so fast today that it's still early in the morning. So we decided that we're gonna tab this edge as well. And right here, this is that extension we did, and it needs a tab, a flat tab across here as well. So we're going to do that right now as well. It's also a beautiful day to be working outside for doing epoxy because it's overcast, so we don't have to worry so much about the epoxy getting too hot too fast. But it's not drizzling like it was yesterday, so we couldn't do it then. So, perfect day today. I am laying down the job again. All right, so we got the side deck down now. Don't have to worry about that anymore on the inside of our daybed, so we're good to go. Moving on with our tabbing day, since that seems to be what we're doing today, tab, tab, tab. We decided that we're going to tab this joint here, which was just an extension when we were putting the top of the bridge deck is. This isn't a critical spot, but over here is where the bridge deck attaches over, and so that one is much more important, and we're going to just tab them both right now. So start with some thickened epoxy to fill in. There's a bit of a gap on here, and then there's a little area here that we're going to have to put a little extra on. I got Dale here helping today, so he gets the fun job of pulling the peel ply. One of my favorite things. Now, if I get a mattress, I can lay down on the job, take a nap right here. You guys go do that other stuff. I'll be right here. Brian's fixing up our step area here. It's a long time coming. There's a slight mess ups on this because the carbon fiber underneath it slopes down and creates a slope, and these flat boards that went across here didn't have a slope to them, so we're having to recreate that slope with some thickened epoxy right now. And so he's not only tabbing it, but we're also going to fix that little step in there by creating a slope of thickened epoxy. Yeah, that's probably where you're going to need it.
Didn't work.
So close, but so far. The goal of the week was to get to working on the front windows, and earlier in the week we really couldn't work on them because there was a lot of drizzle out there, and so we worked indoors, as you saw through all the footage we showed you. But it's nice enough out today, and it was dry yesterday, so it's all dried out, that we can put the baseboards on below the windows. And once those baseboards are in, that'll help us start figuring out how to mark and cut out the front windows, which was again the goal of this week. So we're going to try and get to that today. We'll see. We'll get as far as we can. So the first thing we're going to do is route a little corner on to these baseboards, both on the outside and on the inside corner. The inside corner, because there's a cove there, it has to go up against, and the outside corner because we want a nice little rounded edge that's exposed. So that's what we're going to start with here. Okay, so we get a nice round edge right there. With only room for 2 people up on the deck there, I just handle the camera while Brian and Jeff are starting to glue the baseboards in along the starboard side. So between the thickness of the board and the thickness of the tabbing that we did on the other side there, and the amount of glue there, it brings it out to about 18 millimeters or so, and the acrylic is 8 millimeters thick. So that leaves quite a bit, about 10 millimeters, to put the glue behind the acrylic so that it won't go out beyond this board now. So should be plenty. So you guys want to take that board back out and put a whole glob along the bottom of that one. You need a whole bunch along the bottom. Yeah. I'd put even more than that. Trying to build this up. All right. So what Jeff and Brian are up there working on the baseboard that I just showed you. I'm cutting out our template for our corner window openings. These are a little easier than the ones we did on the side because they don't connect together with another piece. They're single piece, so they're not too bad. Good. That looks good. Everything looks right on the money. Okay. I just need some scissors and we'll cut this out. Gives that template. Now I need to get the thicker black paper out and cut this out of that. So lay the plastic on here and draw the silver line around here. So that gives us our thicker paper now. So I'm going to cut that out. right, we're over on the port side now. We already did the starboard, and we're doing the same thing, getting our boards in. We want these in now because we want to work off of them when we get to the corner window that we're going to be cutting out later today. So we want these boards in place. Not that we're going to put anything on them, but we're going to use them to get a mark of where the other one goes around.
That's the way they want it.
That looks better. After much tweaking and measuring and plotting, we finally got a line that we're happy with for cutting this out. So the next thing is to get the saws up here and cut out our first front angle window here. And then we'll move on the other side and do the other one. Brian's going to do a little plunge cut here to get started. The top one we'll have to cut from the inside, but we can get all three of these other ones from out here. We'll push it out to you.
Off cut. You want it inside? You want it back?
You can head through. Mullions, future mullions. Okay. We have a window on the corner now. So next we'll get over that side and do the same thing. Then we'll work on the four that go across the middle there. But starting to get a view here. don't have a window.
Sign language, Phil.
It's all right. I reshot. Won't be an opening here. There'll be a window here, so I won't be climbing in here, but we'll smooth that all out.
It's going to be cored out anyway, isn't it?
Oh, all that, yeah. All right. So Jeff's finishing up customizing that to perfectly fit in there. It's just a little large. And Brian is pouring out these little post walls that are there so that we can fill those with thickened epoxy. So there's 3 of them. We've got one down the end, one in the middle, and one down there. We'll fill all 3 of those, and then we can put the side supports in, and then that hatch will be supported all the way. Time to put our supports in for our access hatch for plumbing in this area. We're going to get the supports in there right now.
So we accomplished our main goal of the week, getting the 2 front salon windows cut out, and did a lot of other little jobs, including a lot of tabbing.
Yeah, that was a whole bunch. But we just moved along this week, so we got so much done. And we're going to try to do the same thing this coming week. And of course, our goal will be to cut out the remaining 4 windows at the front of the salon now. And that will conclude all the cutting out of the windows. And of course, we'll start roping them in. And then the other big job I hope to get started this week is to actually start attaching the mullions to the cutouts here. And so lots of stuff to get done next week. And we're going to hop to it and put our nose to the grindstone. Who puts their nose to a grindstone? I don't know. Anyway, and get to work. So thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with us this week. And I look forward to seeing you next week as well. Also,
thank you to all of our patrons listed here, and we want to give a special shout out and thank you to our good friends and supporters, Richard and Darlene, who donated to us some marine speakers and some rubber mat flooring to protect our interior floor here with all our work boots and stuff going on.
yeah, and they have been longtime supporters of our project through Patreon. And we'd love to have you join our Patreon crew and get all the perks and stuff that come with that, including early releases of the videos, commercial free, special videos just for our patrons, and more. Not to mention, of course, we're going to be having patron get-togethers as we sail around the world. So love you to be part of that. Get your name engraved in one of our tables. So if you have the means, please stop by our Patreon account and see about joining our crew. But still, just thank you for watching, even if you don't want to do that.
Yes.
So we'll see you next week, and we'll get more work done.
And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the bell icon to be notified of our next video.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.